Okay, so here we are with my 2014 Ford Focus, and I'm getting close to removing the transmission. I'm going to drop it and change some parts on it to begin with the clutch forks. The reason I'm doing that is because I believe that when this hose right here, it tore or got a hole in it. This is a new hose, by the way. It leaked a lot of water and antifreeze down into this area where the servo is right here, and it went into the clutch forks. And as you know, those clutch forks are very delicate when it comes to water, and I believe that they're rusted. Anyways, on to take off the transmission. I finally got this transmission out. It took me a while. It wasn't impossible. I just should have done certain things before, such as remove the support right here, the rear support. I should remove these two bolts instead of just this cross one. And on top, I should have removed this support as well. I didn't figure that out until later, so I took it out later, and sure enough, it came out easy enough. Transmission, I got it on a transmission jack right here, and I've got the engine supported by another jack down here. So I'm gonna get to it, replace these forks, and get this thing going, because I miss this car. It's a nice car. People say, oh, those Focuses, they suck, they're no good, etc., etc. You know what, I really like my little Focus, even though these clutch forks are completely frozen, both of them. They were contaminated with antifreeze, water, and well, that's it. That's as far as they got. Wow, I hope I can take them off because they're really rusted into place. So let's take these suckers off. And here we go. We're going to try and take these little bolts out. And when I went to the wrecking yard, I went ahead and took these off easily. Well, not that easily, but I used a 5/16 socket to take these off at a wrecking yard, which is this socket right there, conventional socket. Boom, I was able to fit it in there, and then I took it off. However, I discovered that obviously these are not regular bolt heads, and I had to go buy a little tool for those. Went ahead and bought this set of this Torx bit. What is it? I don't remember what it was called, but it's for Torx type bit bolt heads. And I'm gonna be using this one right there, and that fits, I think, a little bit nicer, tighter than would this one. I don't want it to slip off and then create more of a problem, because these suckers are in, they're rusted, and I'm trying to take it off with this one right here. Hopefully it works out. If not, well, we'll see what we can do. Okay, so great news. I used my breaker bar here, an extension, and those sockets right there, and they worked out fabulously. Lots of grip on those, and I didn't feel any slip at all whatsoever. I already loosened those up off camera. Ta-da. Okay, start off with this one first. Oh, it's even stuck back here. Oh, I forgot, duh. I forgot to take these two off. This one and this one, and that one. I got all excited. These were the ones that I was concerned about, taking these suckers off. But yeah, I totally forgot about this one and this one. Okay, so those I believe look like T45s. Put my T45 right there with my breaker bar, and we'll see how effective this goes. There we go, snap that off. Next. There we go. I think you heard it go click, click. And the other ones, I believe, let's see if I can get the camera angle right there, right? I just give it a quick snap on the breaker bar, and that pretty much there we go. Excellent and fabulous. And we got those off. Loosen those up. Yay, now they're off. Now I think I can pull them off. Still, they're a little bit stuck. It helps if I take this one off, right? Okay. Okay. And yay, off it is. This one doesn't move, doesn't budge, completely frozen in place. Oh man, this one's stuck in there. Stuck. Oh, here I go again with my silliness. I don't think it's gonna come out. It should come out actually if I just push it down. I don't really need to take off because the servo's still on there. See, it's still on there. I didn't take that one off. So I'm gonna go in and okay, I guess it doesn't come out. Gotta take off that servo. Otherwise, oh, there we go. Seems to be loosening up. So I didn't have to take off that servo. After all, it just kind of like pried off and popped off. I'm going to take it off though for the installation of it. So, okie dokie. Now comes the fun part, the cleaning up part. I'm actually spraying some degreaser in there. Make sure that you've got your axle shaft holes right there. Or okay, now comes the fun part, the cleaning of the inside of the transmission housing. I don't have a fancy high pressure washer, so I'm just using some degreaser. And just make sure to plug up your holes. Oh, speaking of, plug up your holes right there for your transaxle, for your axles. And clean away. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it's nice to give it some cleanliness. Got my crafty Scotch pad right here. And yeah, I wish I had one of those nice cleaners, those pressure washers, but I don't. So I'll just have to make do with what I have. And surely this is going to be better than what it was. I'm just about done with the cleaning part of this transmission, and just with a little bit of effort and some degreaser, I got it cleaned up much nicer. Onward and forward. Here's that tag that many people talk about, whether it's been serviced or not. This one obviously was serviced with a service update. I don't know what that encompasses, what that involves. I have no idea. Somebody knows out there, chime in. I got me these brand new forks from Ford, and I just don't want to be taking this thing apart over again, so I thought about using the old ones, which weren't that bad actually. They weren't that bad, but this is the old one that came with it. I can always keep these as a nice backup. They were pretty clean. All this stuff, these clutch forks also I got from that other donor car, and it had about the same mileage on there. For some reason, it was a lot cleaner inside the transmission, inside the clutch area right here. It was much cleaner on the other one, on the donor car. My car was in junk, had a lot of crap in there. With the new forks came this little container of grease. 19A506. Supposed to apply it evenly around the shafts on this one and on the bottom one. So I'm going to apply it as evenly as possible. Just go around it and then go with my finger, I guess, and just dab it on there. Go from top to bottom, nothing fancy here. I'm just a hobbyist, so to speak, enthusiast. No professional training other than my high school vocational ed auto shop, and everything else was hands-on, having fun, breaking and tearing and learning from my mistakes. So the moment when I put the clutch back in, it'll just kind of like squeeze on down. It also states that I'm supposed to put oil right here. I believe oil that goes inside the transmission. I'm supposed to put some on there. So I guess I'll go and get some from where I have it stored. Yeah, this little grease came with the new clutch forks, and interestingly enough, it only came in one on the B clutch fork. Thanks to the guys, the videos on YouTube, that's where I learned all this stuff. I watched these videos over and over and over again with these guys that had already worked on these to get an idea what I was going to get involved with. And well, here you go, here we are. Finally got to get that transmission up into place. I got it up there, and I know I didn't show you peeps how I got it up there. It was a little challenging, but thanks to this transmission jack, I was able to do it all by myself. The manual, the Ford manual states that 2 people are required to get this transmission in and or out. I did it all by myself using this transmission jack. Believe me, if you plan on doing this and you don't have a transmission jack, you really better get someone to help you out, because this sucker is heavy. So I'm just gonna torque the bolts down and get that flywheel, those bolts on the clutch to flywheel bolts torqued down, and proceed on to filling this baby up with oil and putting those axles in there and lighting it up, see what the results were. Torque down all the bolts that go from the transmission to the engine. I've torqued them down to the specified torque settings according to the Ford manual, and yeah, we're gonna go ahead and see if we can get those nuts that go on the flywheel on the clutch. Now the specifics call for using new nuts, and I can see why, because these are kind of like crush nuts right there. I don't know if you can tell, these are the old ones right there, and once you torque them down they crush and they grab. So these are the new ones right here. I got some new ones. Got some new ones right here. They're really inexpensive. They're not pricey at all. They're like, I don't know, like 60 cents a piece, I believe, at most. Something like that. I don't remember exactly what the amount was. So, needless to say, they come 4 to a pack. I know. Not 6, but 4 to a pack. So I have to buy 2 packs, 1 and 2. So these crush nuts, as you can tell, well, I guess they're pretty much the same. They're not that overly crushed. These are new ones, and these are old ones. They're pretty much the same. Yeah, they're pretty much the same, actually. Yeah, pretty much the same. So I'm gonna go in there and torque them down to the specified torque settings and to the sequence of tightening these nuts. Let's get to it. So in order to get the sequence right, what I did, I color coded each one of the bolts right there. You can see that first one's yellow, and that way I wouldn't screw up when I was bolting them down or getting the correct bolt sequence torque on these bolts, on these nuts. And yeah, I know I'm going maybe a little bit extra here, but I want this to turn out right. I don't want to do it all over again. Well, now seems like I'm getting closer and closer. I've got that starter in place. I'm gonna put these new O-rings right here on the ECM, on the transmission control module. Did I say ECM or TCM? TCM, transmission control module. Alrighty then, so I had to order another engine mount or transmission mount bracket because this one was eerily cross-threaded. Look at that horrible cross-thread. Yuck. In the manual, it states, this is the new one. In the manual, it states to use a new bolt. Now, I did not use a new bolt. Obviously, I wanted to use my old bolt, and apparently that didn't work the way it's supposed to. Now, here's the new bolt. Feels really nice right there on the new bracket. Doesn't go all the way through there. It gets tight about half an inch in there or so. Gets pretty tight. But it's not as bad as this one, because this is the old bolt on the old bracket, and it just didn't go any further than, what, maybe like a quarter of an inch, about that much right there. And just cross-threaded horribly. Look at that. Yikes. So I had to buy another one, another bracket. Had to get another bracket and another new bolt. I wasn't going to feel comfortable pushing this bolt all the way into the old bracket. So I'm going to go ahead and install this new bracket on there with this new bolt, torque it down to spec, and continue moving along. Now, as far as these bolts go, this is the old one and this is the new one. It does look like it has some minor stretch on there. If I put them like that, they don't match up entirely. They do look like they have a little bit of stretch on there, so maybe that's why it's recommended to use a new bolt every time that you use it or take it off. So here we go. I finally got this bolt in there, and basically this is the base underneath. And I told you guys that I cross-threaded this one. I was trying to put it in. I think I figured it out why. I figured out why. I might have been putting it like a little bit crooked, of course, right? Because this thing has such coarse threads, it'll pretty much start grabbing whatever it can grab. And the same thing was kind of sort of happening with this one until I took this base out and the mount, and I kind of like angled the bolt to see which way it was threading properly. And I went ahead and put the mount on, and I copied that angle, and boom, it threaded nicely. So needless to say, if you're threading this one in, just be careful, because that thing will grab anything because it's got such coarse threads. Nonetheless, it's already in there. And I'm just gonna torque it down, torque these babies down, and pretty much done with the assembly of the major assembly of the engine onto, I'm sorry, on the transmission onto the engine. So hopefully I should finish up today, if I don't get anything else come up anymore surprises, but I think I should be okay. This right here is the right passenger side. The manual states to use one of these brackets right there, or as a new unit, and I can't understand why, because it basically crushes into the bearing. It's got no installation side like any which way it should go. It is a little bit concave though, that's for sure. That's what grabs the bearing here. I guess that's why you're supposed to use a new one. I didn't use a new one. I'm not using a new one. I guess I can come back and replace it later. It's quite simple to replace. For the time being, I'm just gonna leave it with the one that it had on there. And the nuts are stated to first torque to 6 Newton meters, then second time around to 25 Newton meters. So I'll go ahead and do that. Torque them to 6, then to 25. And there it is, the Ford Focus 2014. Super nice car. I can't say anything bad about these cars. They're super great. I like them. Very well then, after 2,000 proven miles, seems to be running a-okay. I think it's even running better than what it was before I did that work in the transmission. So with that being said, those new forks might have made the whole difference in the whole wide world, because I don't hear any noises. It shifts super nice, and it's a welcoming car. 165,000 miles on this car. Still runs great. Some people don't like these cars for whatever reason. I happen to think that they're a-okay. I mean, you've got to get used to the transmission. If you don't understand how that transmission works, then you're never gonna like these cars. I see a lot of these cars that are junked in the junkyards, with the interior pretty much brand new, the exterior no major collision damage, and I think to myself, these cars more than likely were dumped because of a bad transmission. And it's quite easy to repair, to be honest with you. It's not that complex, not that complicated. Mainly the most that I spent was $100 and something, $120 on that, on those tools. but overall, I mean, it was pretty much regular tools that I was using. Anyways, if you got one of these Focuses, enjoy it. I do. And I'm gonna keep it for a while because it's good on gas. It's good on gas, and no complaints. Cold AC. Next thing I'll probably do to it is maybe check the suspension, because I saw that one of the shocks was leaking a little bit of oil. So I'm gonna address that. Little things, but the car's paid off. I'm not paying off any major car bills on this thing, and it runs really well. Until next time, thank you for watching.